Blip playing Urgnok. Okay, so an aggressive mirror most likely. Hmm. Sand's a little slow. I'm gonna try again here. Sand seems fine. We've got Ashwood Firebrand and a Satyr's Roost here. We've got a Maw and a Visage as well. Good combo there. A dealer will rip a Ruby resource here in our first couple turns. I mean, he's playing Urgnok. It's not hard to spoil the deck list. He's playing one drop aggro, especially leading on this. I guess he could theoretically be playing Orc aggro. Yeah, almost certainly like old school one drop aggro, Sly style deck. It starts very good on the play. I'm glad I decided to put some Crimson Bolts in our deck. Just gonna go ahead and play this 2-3 out. Blocks this 2-1 theoretically. That's pretty good. Attack for 5 here. I think I'm snapping off this block. Yeah. Not winning this game by not blocking. Burn to finish this off. Yep. That's fine. We're going to stumble and die. Not sure we have a comeback from this. Not with missing a resource there. Happy to trade here. Down to 7. Scale of 1 to dead. Pretty dead. Yeah. Okay. Maybe our opponent doesn't trade these and this hits them and we get to play a Maw for free here. If we had a couple of Maws, we would be in this game huge if this hit, but... Am I supposed to put this into play and make a 2-2? Does that let me live? Nah, I'm just gonna concede. I don't think that lets me win the game, and I'd rather them not know that we have Maw of the Hunt. Lullaby seems fine. Fireball seems fine. Crimson Bolt seem fine. How many shards are in this deck? So 16. There's 24. Okay, yeah, that's plenty. Pyretic Performer is excellent. I probably don't mind a couple of Harvest Moons. I don't know that this is a matchup where I necessarily want the Sunsoul Phoenix. This is more of a card you want to play when you're ahead. This is Heart of Embers is a type of card that can like easily take over the game, but I also don't think it's a card that we're gonna live to get to a lot of the time in this matchup. Let's give this a go. to go first. Yeah, hand seems great. Got Harvest Moon on 1 into probably State of Roost on 2 since it's a 2/3. And then ideally attack and put a Mon to play on 3. Alright, Burns could pick up. Hopefully we hit our 3rd shard on turn 3 this game. It'd be nice to do that every once in a while. Waffle, this isn't a matchup about card advantage. This matchup is very much about living. So I disagree that I'm supposed to play Firebrand out first, especially when my opponent had a 2/1 in play. Like I'm pretty happy in that situation to trade a 2/1 or a 2/3 for their 2/1 plus something else. In a matchup where, and that's why you can't say things like it's always correct to do certain things or it's not, because it's going to differ depending on like what the matchup is about. If the matchup's about generating card advantage, yes, then you always want to lead on the Firebrand. If the matchup's about not dying with cards in your hand, look at the mistake I have made. I always do that with Lysander. I'm just thinking in general. Yeah, but you can't generalize this situation. That's why card games are interesting. Like, if you could, like, write a computer program for all these situations, it would be easy, but there's a lot of subjective things that are going to differ from turn to turn. Matchup to matchup. Wow, didn't want to trade these. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and block here. That's fine. Alright, I missed a point of damage here because I didn't get my Valor last turn. Alright, firmly in the driver's seat. Play this out. Valor it. Draw 2 cards. Hey, look at that. Can't lose. Got a gain 3 and a gain 4. Yep. Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and submit here. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and submit. Opinion on sit 6 cards. Haven't looked at them yet. They noticed the post was live shortly as I was getting ready to stream, and I can look at that stuff later, and I'd much rather get streaming now. Yeah, this hand doesn't have an elf in it, but it's got burn on 1 and crackling bolt on 2, so pretty happy to do that. The burn on 1 will mean I'll be able to negate their champion power most likely, and they're mulliganing to 5, so sign me up. Cedar Juice Bard's an excellent draw there. Just 2-drop elf is everything we're looking for. Sure. Happy to kill this with fire. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use my life total a little bit as a resource here and just try and get this Seder Roostbard going. We could get hit for like 4 next turn, but I think that's fine. Not blocking here. I have 2 pieces of removal in my hand. Rage Fire me. That's aggressive. I would like to put this Maw of the Hunt into play. Don't mind if I do. Play this out. Activate this. Valor this. Ooh, that's a good pickup. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and kill this. Get it on out of here. Got a 3-3, 3-4, and a 4-3. 3-4, 3-4, and a 3-3. However big these things are. So Rage Fire's hitting me. Okay. Wouldn't be surprised if this prompts a concession. The old gain 3 off my land. Draw a card. Maw of the Hunt's a pretty good one to draw. Oh, look at the mistakes that I have made. Oh, the misclicks. Wow. Oh, and that's not an elf either. Oops. I should really use my hotkeys and not click on things. That's fine. He's still dead next turn, right? All right. Continue the elf ball on rolling here. All right. Let's look at these spoiler cards. All right. All right, so the first one here is Taliesin's Memorial. Gain a charge if you control a Valorous troop, create a Valor, and put it into your hand. All right, I like exploring more area on utility resources. I don't know if that's playable, but it's definitely seems okay. Deal 2 damage to to each troop. Damaged troops get. This is not healed at the end of each turn. Ooh, that's a really neat use of digital design space. I like that. Just like permanent damage. Would you like to come in and sit with Dad? I don't think this hand is keepable. I guess it's got a maw in it. It doesn't feel like this is going to be particularly aggressive enough. Yeah, Quick Speed Sweeper's not irrelevant either by any means. This is close. Yeah, I'm gonna try again here. I'd say it's not great, but it's fine probably. All right, we don't have to burn the Brave. Another resource. Now we're looking for. Play that. Pass the turn. Yep. Ooh, that's really annoying. That blocks my 2-2 nicely. Things are not looking good for our hero. We're going to play a 4-4 for 3 next turn, and then, yep. It's not exactly like Wither Talrand, because if you read the card, it says, these gain, this troop doesn't heal at end of turn, which means that any damage dealt to those troops for the rest of the game isn't going to be removed from them. So it's not just like a single burst of, all right, we're just going to go ahead and why isn't there a it's I just posted this feedback. That gear needs a concede game button up there. So desperately. All right, what are we doing here? This is probably a matchup where I don't mind Fortress. This is probably a matchup where Burn is less than stellar. Just add in cards that are a little bit more reach. Maybe bring in a Scorn of Oberon. Doesn't really seem like we have tools. Maybe Lullaby is fine, actually. It's probably better. I mean, yeah, I genuinely believe that the Kaigu Crusader deck, some iteration of it, I don't know if our team's necessarily is the best. I feel like the team deck that we played at the CCS is pretty good. But I think some iteration of that is probably the best deck in the current constructed format. I think Angus has as many results as it does just because the Crusader deck's a little bit more expensive to build. Yeah, seems fine. Not particularly exciting, but fine. It's like Visage turn 2 on the play. Probably can't mulligan that, right? Harvest Moon. Okay. I'm feeling better about our chances knowing that they brought Harvest Moon in. This is definitely the type of deck where we have the ability to play over the top because of cards like Heart of Embers and Satyr's Roost Bards. So, but I guess they do also have to respect draws like Phoenix and Moss. So we're kind of in an interesting position for those reasons. Carnosaur. All right. Well, that feels bad. Okay. All right. A little rabbit brick. Sign me up. I've mostly become disinterested in Eternal. I remembered pretty quickly once I started playing it again why I stopped playing it in beta. The constructed's really expensive in Eternal, and I can't justify spending more than like $30 or $40 on a CCG that like I'm never gonna get my money back out of. The gameplay in Eternal's all right, but the limited's great. I've played a lot of the limited, and maybe the constructed's as good as the limited, but I'm honestly just like not willing to spend the amount of money I need to spend to really try the constructed out. Is what it boils down to. All right, and the Valor that this produced, I didn't play last turn because we can Valor this and then play the Sunsoul Phoenix for 4 next turn. And we could Fireball this in response to the fight, so that way my guy doesn't die. Valoring Phoenixes is pretty good, too. Because you can Valor them and then they keep the bonuses and you can bring them back from the crypt to play. That's pretty good. Remember to activate my champion power, so next turn we can go Valor this Phoenix, play a second Phoenix. Alright, you can Acolyte Shoku, that's fine. They don't have double blood, so they can't... Oh, there's the double bloods. They can Hero Fall us now. If they Hero Fall this, we're going to be a little bit sad, since we have the second one in our hand. Just a Crusader, that's fine. Since he played this Crusader out, I think I'm going to go ahead and Valor... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Valor this, so that way this can attack in here. Gain some life here. And I have 3 actions in my crypt now, so we can go ahead and return the Phoenix that he trades with to play. I'll use my champ power again post-combat. Yeah, you really want the Valors to fuel the Phoenix access, I think. The pre-Valor build just isn't very reasonable, I don't think. That's tempting. Alright, so I could Heart and then Valor and mow these down. Or I could return the Phoenix to play. Yeah, I think I'm just going to return the Phoenix to play. Oh, wait. Oh, it's 6 actions. I don't know why I thought it was 3. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. We'll get there slowly. And then I'm going to double Valor this Heart of Embers to get it out of Crocosaur range here. Makes that decision easy. Phoenix would be busted in half if it was only 3 actions, so... it's still not quite 100% here. Oh god, that's too... I just got... It's so embarrassing. Alright, just keep attacking with my 4-3, I guess. I guess it's worth noting here that if this Lullaby was a burn, we'd have just been able to, like, burn his dome here and then bring a Phoenix back into play. Hi, toddler. You having fun? You having a good day? Yeah, if you've ever wondered what the MTGO code base looks like, just like link a report. Oh, we're just dead, right? I mean, I guess we attack with this. Stu with the 6-month resub. Thank you for the continued support. Half a year. The Diaper Fund appreciates your support as well. I mean, you can't block here, right? There's like 0% to block here. God bless you. God bless you giving me an out to this Yakuza, and I really appreciate you. Don't Rotten Rancor it back next turn. Have a heart. Have a heart. Don't Rotten Rancor it back next turn. I get that I probably have to bluff an attack there if I don't have it, but that's a good fireball. Good fireball to draw. Don't Rotten Rancor me. Don't do it. 10 out of 10 scoops to Rotten Rancor. Pass the turn back here. What's our out? Hopefully they attack with everything here. We lullaby, and then we can bring Phoenix back next turn. Let's just nip that right in the butt. Huh, that's interesting. The no attack with that when you have a kill back. Okay. Uh, let's do this. Hit okay. Are we 1 point short of lethal here? Yeah, we're 1 point short of lethal, right? Because I could hit him to 6 and then Valor this, so I'm gonna elect Crackling Bolt this, and then hit them for 4 here, and then we'll Valor this post combat. Okay. I mean, or the people before you were really bad at their jobs, to be fair. So we're taking 8 here. And then next turn we're taking 8 again. So they're not going to die because this is going to life drain here. Oh, they're leaving that back. Okay. Well, I mean, they're dead to Fireball and Crackling Bolt either way here. So I feel like you're supposed to attack with that just to, like, make a Shard. No, Shard wouldn't be lethal next turn. This is lethal, though. So we have to play this and then Valor this, kill this. Well, I guess I can just... All right, we're getting to game 3 at least. Got that going for us. The Lullaby seems like it was fine. The Crimson Bolts might be okay, especially because Yazukan exists. I don't know if this Fortress is going to do enough. I think I'd rather just have more spot removal. Let's do that. What does this deck cost dollar-wise? It can't be that much, right? What's the Hex TCG browser say? It says like $50. That's not bad. Yeah, of course, Denton. We're a multi-card game stream. Pokemon, Magic, Hex. We answer all the questions all the time. Feel free to just post always. If myself or someone else in chat is capable of answering, we will. I'm gonna keep this. It needs a wild shard at some point, but it's pretty reasonable in the draw. Hey, Dino. Ooh, another Cedar Roost. Okay. Life is swell. Just tried out this sweet new elf deck that top 8 of the CCS. Okay, not the wild shard that we're looking for, but better than bricking on a shard next turn for sure. All right, Crusader's annoying. I really don't have good informed opinions on Pokemon decks, Denton. I am still learning the game, and I don't really like to give out advice that I don't know is going to be reasonable. I think we're just supposed to, like, spend 2 cards to kill their sign in blood here. Things that don't feel good for 100. Go ahead and grab our Valor here at least. Maybe we're lucky and they don't have another follow-up play here. Not the Crusader. I will take a Vampire Princess. It was their second best hit in there, but still workable since we have this Crackling Bolt in our hand. Yep. That's gone. Come on, Wild Shard. Wild Threshold, Feral Acorn, Wild Shard. 7 good draws. Alright, that was towards the bottom of our draws. Lower side of the curve, another uncastable. Sure. So for those of you, it's been a little while since this card seems to play. Maw of the Hunt is a 5-cost 3/3, but if you have a Wild Threshold when an elf we control damages an opposing champion, if this is in our hand, we can play it for free. Another brick on Cottontail Explorer. Deal. Alright. Wild Threshold. Sounds great. I'm going to go ahead and Crackling Bolt this. And then I'm going to play this out. And now I have a decision to make. Do I want to Valor this? Yeah, I think I'm going to Valor this because it sends the message I don't have another one of these in my hand. So hopefully he doesn't Hero Fall this. If they Hero Fall this, I really want to get a cantrip out of that Valor while I can. Just Matt. I have no idea. I'm not really working on Magic standard format. I don't have any sanctioned events that I'm going to be playing in that format, so I'm not really brewing in it. Wow, he brought in all the Harvest Moons. Sure. Big Bucks, no Hero Fall. Big Bucks, no Hero Fall. Big Bucks, no Hero Fall. Kill. Sign me up. Our hero has not fallen. Happily take it. Pyretic Performer. Yep, that's fine. So there might be merit to waiting to empower this, but playing 2 cards out this turn seems reasonable, especially if either of these hits next turn we can deploy a Maw. So this is 3/1 when it comes into play, creates a Scorch, which is a free deal 1 damage card. And then we get Sword, and we want to just, like, weep silently. I guess that's a reason to wait to empower that. Alright, probably up a creek without a paddle at this point. Inquisitions in his deck. That's gross. Scorch is a basic action. Can't play it on their turn. It's fair and balanced, unlike Gutshot. All right, and this time we're actually conceding to the Azucan. I mean, I guess we'll try this one more time. Rats. I guess if we get another Valor, this could potentially work. Alright, Naive Lackey's not the greatest hit for them. And this has to live. A lot of things have to break our way here. But this is definitely, a really powerful card that could carry us here. Alrighty, what's the out here? We could draw a second Heart of Embers. And then make a Valor, and then, yeah, draw another Heart of Embers. Sure. You have to thin the bad troops out of his crypt with that play, too. Even drawing a second Heart of Embers really isn't good enough here, though, right? We're just going to be mostly dead on board. Yeah. Yep. And again, why? Right here. Just put the concede game button right there. Alright. Willing to lose 2 or 3 matches with this before we go back to just playing Kaigalichu and slaying people. And immediately queue into another Kaigalichu deck. I have to imagine this matchup's bad for us, just like these decks in general, the Crusader decks. And Ace is likely playing our team deck, which means that his deck's slanted towards beating aggressive decks like this one. My poor rank. Alrighty, so play this. So next turn we could actually play a free Phoenix post-combat if we hit our opponent. Actually, we can play a free Phoenix pre-combat, right? Yeah, please don't Karn me. Please don't Karn me. Please don't. God bless America. So if Ace hadn't had the Karn here, we would have been able to Valor our guy, Fireball our opponent, play a Shard, make a Valor, Valor our guy, and then play a Phoenix. Would have been pretty good. Would have been okay on a scale of 1 to not bad. Heart of Embers, good pickup, just good objectively powerful card. Oh, so normally this would be an excellent draw because it's another powerful card, but Ace is playing 4 copies of Hero Fall, which means we're pretty likely to get Hero Fall next turn. We're just going to take a Heart of Embers out of our hand as well, and just like feel bad about life in general. If we don't get Hero Fall in here, our turn's going to be pretty good. But you know, that same thing, we don't get Karn here, our turn's to be pretty good. Oh, please let me ready with this. Oh. He either doesn't have the Hero Fall or he doesn't have the blood. Because he would have. This thing would be snap dead. Oh, okay, he has the blood. Oh, Battle Hopper. Phoenix. All right. Okay, sure. So we do this. And then I think I'm supposed to get the second Heart of Embers going here. Just in case he draws a Hero Fall. This is the type of card that just plays way over the top of anything when they don't get answered. We will hit Ace for 4 here. And then make a Valor. Jeez, and next turn we could probably just burn him out, right? This is 18. Yep, just dead to these two. Each of these is 6 points of damage because these Heart of Embers each do 3. And if he's playing our build, he does not have Crocs in his main. All right, Pav Yazukan, sure. For a truly skilled at this game, we will draw another Phoenix next turn. And then let's burn this, and then we'll Crackling Bolt him to make another Valor. Alright, this deck does stuff. This deck does stuff and things. Alright, so I feel like normally you trim 4s against the Hero Fall decks, but I feel like I just can't afford to do that. With the Heart of Embers would be the one I'd want to trim, and Heart of Embers is just like too powerful of a card to do that against. I wouldn't mind having more Pyretic Performer in the board, I don't think, of this matchup. I definitely want Lullaby. I probably wouldn't mind having like 1 Scorn. It's like the Runar Hierophant's one of their best cards. What am I cutting? Crackling Bolt actually seems worse than the Quick Speed, since these can kill Carnosaurs, even if this does give a charge. Yeah, I don't think I'm boarding pretty minimally here. Double Phoenix. Yeah, probably keep. I'm going to get a wild here because I want to play the Satyr Roost Bard on 2, I think. The Satyr Roost Bard is immune to Carnosaur. So I'll have to hero fall this next turn if he wants to kill it. Ooh, this is a big Runeer, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's unfortunate. Little surprised he doesn't have Skyguard Steadfast in there. No blocks here. There's almost certainly extinctions in his deck post board. Hopefully we just be a professional and draw a Fireball, a Burn, or a Crackling Bolt next turn and then triple Phoenix him. Ooh, now that really needs to happen or we go and die. Attack me for 6. God bless. Come on. Come on. Any action. Any action. Any action. God bless America. All right. Well, let's do this. Then let's do this. Then let's do this. Things are about to get a little cray over here. We might have to highlight this one. About to get a little crazy. About to get a little crazy. Because this, when you cast them, doubles these. Which doubles these again. Which doubles these again. So for those who are unaware, Visage of the Masquerade, every time you play a card that costs 5 or more, you copy it. And the copies copy as well. And the Phoenix reduces its cost only while it's in your hand. So when it goes onto the chain, it counts as a 6 cost. So it goes to 2 Visage, and then 4, and then 8. Excellent. Thank you for the clip, Devron. That's perfect timing on the clip too. I didn't have the action. All right, so we're going to lead on rubies here because I would like to play Visage on 2, and this is our only wild source, so we're going to use that for wild instead of playing it as a slow shard for ruby on 1. We also probably want a fireball on 3, so... All right, maybe we're doing it again, fam. Like, the chances of this living 2 to 3 turns are pretty slim. Okay, well, now I'll play this out since we can. Please let this connect. Probably repel in my future. Wow, that's sweet. Yep. Wow, if even if we get Clash next turn, we're gonna have a pretty good turn, right? Yeah. If they don't have Clash this turn, they're super screwed. And their Clash was effectively a 1-for-1 here because that other Visage was free, so it basically just killed my other thing. Action. Well, another Phoenix. Yep, I'm just going to send this Fireball upstairs and then Valor my Visage here, which makes this turn into 2 costs. Unfortunately, it's not triple Phoenix crazy like against Ace last turn, but this is still a nice solid crack for 9 here. Coach, with the cheers. Welcome. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Do you have another Clash? You have a Silver Talon Adjudicator. Sure. Jue Hoala with the Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome back. I appreciate that increased level of support. Thank you very much. I think I'm fine offering this trade, so I'm just going to attack here with everything. I'm going to go ahead and play this Heart of Embers out. And then next turn, if we hit a shard, we can Valor and then Sunsoul Phoenix and double these as a Dark Heart here. It's definitely their best play. Definitely sacrificing this shard. All right, excellent. Well, let's do that. And then they are just dead. We go ahead and we Valor this, which sends some damage upstairs, which then lets us play this Phoenix, which just the Phoenix is lethal, but of course, the Phoenix is going to bring another Visage of the Masquerade along with it. Man, this deck feels like it needs some Oakhenge Ceremony. I really wish we had a well so we could play that reasonably. Definitely want some Scorn of Oberon here. Maybe Fireball. Don't need Burns. This Nature's Reigns is probably... Actually, I guess Nature's Reigns is probably just better than Scorn of Oberon. I don't think I want more than 2 ways to kill. And actually, maybe I just want Burns over Crackling Bolts to maximize my crazy Phoenix turns. That's probably true. I don't think I want a ton of Riposte, but bringing in 1 seems acceptable. This hand seems fine. Not quite as aggressive as some of our others, but it's like good reasonable curve. Yep, Scars of War seems like a sweet card. Play this, and this is a matchup where we're definitely playing the Firebrands out before the Satyr's True Bard so we can maximize our chance to draw with the Valors. Scorn double wild seems rough in this deck. I agree with that assessment. I changed a couple of cards in the reserves, but I left Scorn in. Perhaps it should just be Nature's Dream. I see the desired flexibility though, since you can what's it called? You can use it to like neuter Runir Hierophants, which are definitely a problem. Potato Donut. So to get into the subs Discord, you want to, using your desktop web browser, you want to link your subscribed account and your Twitch account. Your subscribed Twitch account and your Discord account into your Discord user settings. What? All right, that must have been a misclick. They let the Satyr's Roost Bard resolve and then countered my Valor. Clash of Steel. 10 out of 10. Keep my card that draws cards. Casual, no Lysander. Yeah, I'm dumb. Shut up. We'll get there, okay? Look, I'm learning slowly. That's only the second time I've missed it. I'm certain there will be plenty more. I'm certain there will be plenty more of me missing it. Oh god, that's so good. Oh man. And we can valor things, which makes their bring to justices bad too. God, that's great. Okay, and now I'm really getting punished here, because if I would have made the Valor last turn, this Maw would have been in my hand when I... Okay, I mean, we got rewarded for being an idiot. This Maw would have been in my hand last turn if I... Okay, well, now let's play this Visage of the Masquerade out. And then let's attack for 5, and then we'll put this Maw of the Hunt into play without paying its casting cost, which will double this Visage. He's already played 2 clashes, right? Yep, and just like needs another clash, or basically just dead. Oh yeah, oh yeah. this configuration of this deck is sweet. I don't really know what deck to get first, so Grillydactyl. I don't know why you're still subscribed to the channel, hun. That's my wife's account. I guess she likes the emotes. Welcome back. Ooh, we got a Spring Litter Disciple. In the games, so there's a budget control deck that's okay to start out with, is that you can actually buy it right in the Hex in-game store. It's called Pathfinder Control. You can find an article about it on hextcg.com. Varanus wrote it. He's the one that designed that deck. You can also, the, like, best control deck right now is the Diamond Sapphire Darkheart control deck. It's actually what my last opponent was playing. It's considered one of the better control decks right now. This hand's a little bit medium, but again, has a threat on 2 and plenty of resources, so I think that's like the requirements we're looking for to keep a hand with this deck. If you need help finding specific links, we'd be feel free to help you find them in chat. Otherwise, check hexmeta.com. You can find all sorts of different things. There's lots of really powerful filtering tools and stuff like that on there. Ooh, Satyr's Roost Bard. Sweet. So we're going to lead on Visage for sure here. And just get on in there. Do you have a Rockcast? Do you have a Vampire Prince? That's fine. Let's play this. I'm going to Crackling Bull this, and then crash in, I think, here. I'm not going to play the Valor out this turn because I have a Satyr's Roost Bard in my hand, so I'd like to draw a card with this. Should you wait for the expansion that just got announced? Waiting for the next release isn't a terrible idea because Hex is going to have their first set rotation with that release. All right, well, we're going to play this, and then I'm going to Valor the Visage, because I think I'd rather encourage him to kill that. Oh, great. Well, that feels bad. All right, Rockcast, sure. Since we drew another Ruby, I'm going to go ahead and use this one to gain life now, since we only need triple Ruby, single Wild game one. I'll go ahead and crack with this. That being said, if you want to get a feel for Hex, Hex has a completely free-to-play single-player campaign mode that you can play and enjoy without putting any money into the game, so it's a very reasonable option. Hmm. So he's 100% getting a troop out of our hand when he attacks with this, which is unfortunate. I think we just try and apply enough pressure to make that. I guess there's a world where like I don't play this, but I think, oh, you know what? I can do this and hit here, and then I have a charge here, so that means we have a 25% chance of getting out of this VK happy. Yeah. So Vampire King, every time this deals damage to us, our opponent's going to get to see a random card from our hand, and if they reveal a troop, they get to take that troop and make it into a 2/2 vampire. So here's hoping we show him this Valor here. That's unfortunate, especially since it makes a Valor for us. Oh, Hero Fall the Heart of Embers, sure. Other Sun Soul Phoenix, that feels a little bit bad. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to hope they don't have another removal spell here. I think I'm just supposed to play this here and then play this out, which does copy that, I guess. And this is 9-13. They're obligated to block with this, but I think I'd rather hold this back to block the Vampire King, potentially. Yeah, I think I'd rather wait to try and block the Vampire King. Pretty unlikely that that happens, but I think it's our best chance to win is not losing another card out of our hand. Should need a Hero Fallen again or something. Rockcast, this dodges Rockcast at least. Steel Intel, my Crackling Bolt. That feels real bad. Takes an action out of my yard. Well, I'm glad I put Crimson Bolts in my board. Take some other Phoenix. At least he drew a shard off of our deck. I'm not going to swing this one in. I'm going to play it post-combat so he can't take it with the VK, but I'm not playing it out and offering this trade because I would prefer to have two of these to double up in case we draw another Phoenix or a Maw. If he has Extinction here, we're pretty dead. Nope, alright. 6-drop. Alright. Wow. Okay. So that deals damage equal to their blood thresholds to something, and then they gain life equal to the damage dealt that way. So they did 5 to my 5/5 and gained 5 life. Oh, I guess I could have played that pre-combat. Nah, I'd much rather he would have just killed that in response, or he'd have the option to kill this instead. I'd much rather have this live, ideally, so if we draw a Valor Producer, please draw shards off my deck, please draw shards off my deck. He took my Heart of Ember, that's pretty good, and he has a shard for it. Alright, I'm just going to concede. This game's pretty done. Alright, let's cut the burns. And bring in a Fireball and some Crimson Bolts. And these Fortresses, I think. Cut this Pyretic Performer. I think that's what I want to do. Save. What is it like with Magic? In Magic, the standard staples always drop some amount in price after rotation happens. Cards that see play in the non-rotating formats in Magic always retain some value, but they usually see at least like a 10 to 20% drop, at least for a short while. Long term, they tend to go back up, but there's less people that want them in the short term, so the prices do drop, even though because the availability is the same, but the desire for them is less. How those cards, their value tends to go in Hex is definitely going to be determined by how much the Immortal format sees support-wise. If it sees a lot of support, then the cards like Vampire King and stuff like that are likely Immortal playable are going to be more valuable. If it doesn't see a lot of support, they'll be fairly cheap. All right. Well, there's a non-zero chance we have a turn 4 double Phoenix. If we hit a... Oh, we don't have burns in my deck. That's unfortunate. I'm just going to go ahead and hit this. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have played this. That could definitely cost us. I should have played this out for Ruby, because if he kills this, it's my only elf. That's unfortunate. You can take one of my Phoenixes or my actions. He's probably got to take an action here, right? Almost like the Crackling Bolt, probably. Alright, Daddy needs an action. That's like better than an action, right? Basically. It's like an action troop split card. You can't extinction us next turn because... Come on. Yeah! Pew pew pew! Pew pew pew! Nice stumbling, control deck. Oh, did you stumble and die, little control deck? That's so sad. So sad, control deck. That is why playing aggro decks is sweet, because when they stumble, you get to punish them. Push the stuff in. Yep, Sand's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Probably want to play Feral Acorn for... Yeah, I'm going to play Feral Acorn for Wild on 1 here, because if he Inquisitions and takes my only elf, I don't have another source of Wild. It means we can't Fireball till 4, but I think that's fine. Yep. I don't like Inquisition in these types of matchups personally, but a lot of people seem to leave them in, so it seems worthwhile to play around. God, I always feel like a wizard. You just like talk about the thing we should do for the tiny small percentage play, and then it comes up exactly like you talked about. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to leave Inquisition in your deck in a matchup like this, you want to have all of them in your opening hand. It's just good gameplay. Don't VK me. Don't VK me. That's a little rough. Crimson Bolt off the top. One time. Well, we're 40% to be said here. If they hit one of our things, we might just concede. Call a day. I guess we have Crimson Bolt as kind of an out, but still going to be pretty rough. Alright, we dodged it. No troop for you. Come back in 1 year. Okay, well, let's play this out. So I can play this, and then I think I'm just obligated to kill this vampire princess. And we're going to be 50% to be sad next turn. I mean, we're not stumbling. We got double Inquisitions. All right. Running hot on the vampire hits. Can you not kill this? Can you not kill this? That's so nice of you. Oh, and we drew a Crimson Bolt. Pew, 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 pew. All right, so what are we doing here? I think it's Fireball, you, because this activates our champion power. And then it's Valor, you, shoot, you, and then it's Crimson Bolt, you. I don't actually want to put this Maw of the Hunt into play because I feel like we're playing around Extinction here. So I'm going to hold on to this until they like put another Vampire King into play. I don't know what they have because if they had removal, they would have used it. They could very well have Extinction. So I'm just going to play around that to the best of our ability. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 5 actions in here, so we're only 1 action away from bringing this Phoenix back if we do get Extinctioned. Ooh. Ooh, don't mind if it does. So the Cannon Boom Boom over here, I'm going to put this into play now. I'll go ahead and make a Valor. Alright, he drew a shard off of our deck. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Seriously? Ugh. You brought... Alright. Well, sure. That happened. That was the sequence that punished the line I took there. I'm really glad I have this card. Because that's like the one card in our deck that could beat that sequence, so I'm glad I added that to our deck. He does have Rockcast Stranded in his hand. Okay. Gets to activate his champ power here. So I should have really I should have what's it called? I should have I just didn't think there was. I got sloppy because we were so far ahead. I didn't think there was a sequence of cards he could have to come back from this fortress. Instead of putting that Maw into play, I should have just waited. I'm going to go ahead and attack these two into this because I have the Satyr's Roost Bard in my hand, so I can make a Valor and then draw a card. God, what a beating. I'm just going to play this out because our opponent has Inquisitions in their deck, and I don't want an Inquisition to be live at this point. So this card just sits here and makes a 2/2/1 every turn. It makes this Hell Cannon, too, that would normally be great here, because every time a troop dies, this gets a counter. And then when you have 5 counters on it, it can activate to deal 5 damage. That's why I thought my opponent was basically locked out of the game. But Closed Coffins replaces Die's effects. So... yeah, I'm going to ship in here to try and hit a Valor again. If they have a Rockcaster removal spell, we get a little bit hurt again here, but sweet. All right, let's do this. I'll Valor here to draw a card with my Bard. And then we will play another Fortress out. Ho ho! These are my fortresses! Ho 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 ho! Hey, look at that. It's the Inquisition we played around. That's why I don't like Inquisition in matchups like this, for reference. Because they're bad top decks in the late game. I'd much rather just have more removal instead of a card like that. I'm just going to play this out, because if they kill this, this dies. I mean, that card did exactly what we wanted it to do. I, like, looked at my board, and I was like, want a card that beats Extinction. This card beats Extinction. Alright, let's look at this board here again. I kind of want at least one more Pyretic Performer for... and this might sound weird, but I want it for against the Kaigalichu decks. Actually, I don't mind it against the Vampire King decks either, because Pyretic Performer lets your Scorches upgrade Fireballs and Crackling Bolts into killing 4 toughness things, and the Kaigalichu decks have a lot of X1s, so like just scorching those is good. These Scorns seem ambitious. I think I'm going to trim those just because of how hard they are to cast. I want another Crimson Bolt in here, and I want another Lullaby in here, so that means I have one card too many in my board. This feels like a card that's going to be hard to hold up on average, so I'm going to trim one of those. And I feel like I want more consistency in the main deck a little bit. How many Ruby sources do we have? We've got 21. I'm going to bring... Do we have too few Elves if I do this? That's 16 Elves. That's probably plenty. I'm going to bring this last Fireball into the main and board the 2 Pyretic Performers, I think. Having just, like, more 1-mana things for the Phoenixes to be nuts seems valuable. Oh, I want a second Nature's Reigns in here, too. Just so I have, like, 2 ways to kill... what's it called? Darkheart. What's the other cut if I do that? Is it another Riposte? That's probably fine. Let's give that a try. Well, I'm glad this deck is sweet. I needed a new deck to write about for my next deck drill down, and this is probably going to be it. I'd like to go first. Alright, we're playing against Angus. Yeah, this hand seems okay. If we hit a Ruby Shard in our first 2 draws, we actually just get to, like, Fireball, Fireball, Valor, Phoenix on turn 3, which is super aggressive. What are life gain cards for? Yeah, they're for this matchup, actually. And without having tested this matchup, I don't want to cut them, so... Imp Hoodlum kills artifacts and are a troop if we are interested. Are there any constants we care about is a question we need to ask ourselves. I'm not sure that there are. And maybe, honestly, just splitting them is right. Alright, I'm going to play this and then play Ashwood Firebrand here. We do need to draw an actual Ruby Shard or an Acorn next turn to be able to Phoenix, but that's fine. Imp Hoodlums is not a bad idea. Just, like, play 1 Nature's Reigns. Not blocking here, because if we hit a Ruby Shard, we go nuts next turn. Yeah, yo, cousin, the deck my opponent's playing right now, Angus the Arsonist, is a mono Ruby aggressive deck that's arguably the best deck in the format right now. In Angus's favor, that's fair. I don't know what that card is. Is that the one that gives them a... I'm going to attack with this, and then play another Firebrand out here. We don't really care about drawing cards, we just want to attack, attack, attack. I chose to make a Ruby so we could guaranteed play these Fireballs next turn. What's our best draw? Next turn our best draw would be another Phoenix. That's fine. I think we just take this hit, honestly. We're in a position where we can basically race here, I think. Because they're at 15. This is... cremated one of my guys. That's sad. Yep. Sweet. Taking that hit was well worth it. So they should just be dead here, right? We go Valor. Valor. Yeah. No, we're going to be... Oh, yeah, they're dead. So we go fireball you, fireball you. Oh, we don't even have to show them the next fireball. That's fine. There's no kill like overkill, ladies and gentlemen. And in with the squad. Yeah, I don't... Malice is probably a card we care about, but the Blood Spinner's Orath Malice deck really doesn't see much play anymore. And Eulogy we can probably just go under, so like having one answer to it's probably fine. So I think Implodulums, I'm going to try a split with this at the very least, I think. All right, how are we boarding this matchup? We probably want this and these. May or may not want Lullaby, may or may not want Crimson Bolt, may or may not want Pyretic Performer. Yes, if the control deck is winning, it expects to see the late game. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect to make it to see the late game. Now the question is what am I cutting? Am I supposed to be like trimming the Sun Soul Phoenixes, assuming that we're not going to get there? Or am I supposed to lean on that knowing that that's the way we're actually going to be able to win the game? I could see Heart of Embers just being too slow and clunky, but that might be lowering our elf count too low. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. I don't hate this. Let's give this a try. The Phoenixes were good that game, but I feel like that might be an outlier, but that might be how we need to win. The B should probably be cut for this. I don't know. Like, this card creates a lot of tempo. This card creates a lot of tempo. So, the thing about Satyr's Roost Bard is that it's a 2-3 for 2, which is really reasonably statted. I'm going to try this configuration and see how I feel about it. Reserve the right to change my mind. Imp has the same upside, also has the upside though of like when they don't have Dark Heart, you can just like play it out as a 2/2 for 3 and start attacking with it, which is definitely not negligible. I think this hand is fine. We've got a Burn and a Harvest Moon. We need another Ruby Threshold, but we have mostly Ruby Shards in our deck. Baby Yurdy. Crackling Bolt's a decent draw. I think I'm going to lead on Feral Acorn here for our Ruby. I would probably like to burn a Psychotic Anarchist if they play it on 2 here. And I would also like to play this on R2, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I mean, I might want to play that. Wait until I have Wild, so I have a good chance to get this Maw into play. All right. Yep. Happy to kill this with fire. Would love to draw like a Satyr's Roost Bard here. Ruby Threshold would be a good runner-up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play a Wild Shard this turn because, again, I think I'd like to wait to play this Visage of the Masquerade out. And this gives me the ability to play Harvest Moon at end step, and if we draw like another Ruby Shard next turn, that allows me to use this Feral Root Acorn's third ability, which is gain 3 health later in the game. Which is basically like taking an entire card away from our opponent, gaining 3 life. I guess there's a chance we get riposted here. That's unfortunate. I guess I technically should have done that during their main 2, so that way they had to play it right away. But I guess if they kill this, then they can't play the Harvest Moon. Yeah, they're playing the Harvest Moon, sure. So we get to play this out for free. Then we get to activate this, and then we get to Valor this. So it doesn't die to Fireball or Burning Tendrils. They attack with this, we're blocking with the Visage. This probably means we're getting Lasgar's Vengeance, which is likely the end of the game. Yeah. It just does 4 damage to us and each of our troops, and then this hits us for another 4, and they still have 4. They still have 4 life in the bank from the Harvest Moon that they stole from us. And they don't always have the Lasgar in their opener, right? Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and concede here. All right. So, bringing this, I actually don't think I really like Riposte. I feel like we're tapping out far too often. I think I'm going to bring these back in because Visage of the Masquerade seems like it's one of our better cards. Let's bring these in on the play, at least one of them. Some Crackling Bolt's probably fine for getting extra and some more reach. And Harvest Moon makes the Sunsoul Phoenix easier to trigger as well. Let's try this kind of a hodgepodge here. I might cut this last Riposte from the board. I was kind of struggling to fit other board slots, and I'm kind of glad I cut the other 2 after seeing how this feels. Maybe it's right to try and force them all in, but I feel like we just don't have time to like sit there and not tap out. Yes, and seems great. Yeah, I think we do this on 1 so we can Harvest Moon. We can't play Visage on 2, but we can play Ashwood Firebrand on 2, so that's fine. And just like play Visage plus Valor on 3. I haven't gotten Bolt's Vasm to won any of these 3 games. That feels good. You know what actually might be okay for that last spot on the board is I wouldn't hate having like a Cremate, like a fifth burn spell that we can play cheap in the game. Would not hate that. No blocks. Swift Strike Blamsmith, sure. Certainly playing this. Definitely playing this. Valoring this. And then cracking for 3. So Ashwood Firebrand is a 2/1 that creates a Valor when it comes into play, and then when it attacks, all Valor's troops get Swift Strike until end of turn. I'll remember to activate my champion power here. Wow, that's defensive. Oh, doesn't let me activate my champion power. Sure. You have a Matriarch here. Something to really let him apply pressure. Probably just never beating a Lasgar's Vengeance with this deck, so I don't think we play around it. Cremate, sure. Psycho! Can I get some Phoenixes? Cedar's Roost Bard. Alright, what am I doing here? I think I want to try and hit a Shard, so I'm going to crack him for 3 here, hopefully. If this doesn't get... This is probably getting Fireballed. If this gets fireballed, we're going to play the Performer and Scorch this. If this doesn't get fireballed, we're going to activate my Champ Power and then Bard. Yeah, we're going to activate this and then Bard and then Valor my Bard. This actually gets it out of Vengeance range. And this was already Valorous, so it came in as a 3/4. It missed on a Shard, but we did hit a Sun Soul Phoenix, so that's nice. Can we afford to beat Vengeance at this point? So, yeah, I think if he attacks with both, I'm just like, no blocks. Yeah, I'm just going to no blocks. We need resources and wouldn't mind more Phoenixes anyways. I want him to have to spend Vengeance plus another thing to kill this Bard, ideally. The Lesguard Vengeance could easily cost 2 or 3 by now, depending on when it was in his hand. This Baby Yeti's been attacking every turn for like 5 turns now. Alright, we're spending 2 cards to kill this. That's good for me. Oh, kind of spending 2 cards. Shard's a good draw there. Now the question becomes, what do I want to do with my life? I think it could very well just be Firebrand, Firebrand. Yeah, I think it's Firebrand, Firebrand here. And then if we had a Shard next turn, we can kind of go nuts. If he has a Mama Yeti, we're in trouble. Even Matriarch's pretty scary here, but I think this is our best play to win line. There could be merit to like Pyretic Performer, Scorch this, Fireball this. A second Lasgard's Vengeance, we're just going to get slaughtered here. But we're getting slaughtered by that regardless. I'm taking 1 and I'm trading here in this attack. We could also just die here. He could have like quad Fireball. Or Crackling Bolt, 3 Fireballs. Blamsmith without Scrounge, deal. So, Valor this. Valor this. If this dies to anything other than Burning Tendrils, I'm okay with that. Fireball this. This does unfortunately mean I can't get Maw of the Hunt into play this turn, but that's fine. I wanted to just get my Phoenix free. You have another piece of removal you want to spend on this? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actions exactly in my crypt right now. Probably deciding whether or not this Fireball needs to go upstairs or can kill the Phoenix. It's down to 10 here. Mama Yeti is probably the best draw in his deck. I guess he could have had that last turn. He had Lasgard's Vengeance to us. Non-zero chance they had that. Come on, something good. It's like the opposite of something good. This would have been a non-slow Shard. That would have been a great draw, because then we could have played Heart of Embers, and then Heart of Embers pinged him and put the Maw of the Hunt into play. I have to play this. Do I have to take a defensive line here? I feel like I do. This feels like a losing proposition. I think I'm supposed to double here. We're dead to a lot of stuff here. We're even dead to shards at a certain point. We need to have like a bunch of troops in hand, like one shard into a bunch of troops. So slow shard ended up getting us this game basically. If he has even a burn here, it's not good for us because he can kill the Phoenix or the Pyretic Performer. Fireball, sure. Pretty dead no matter how you cut it. Alright, well. If he draws a non... What do we need to draw? A troop without speed next turn? It's funny that if this had been a resource, we'd have been able to live. Yeah, so we're dead to a shard. I guess we can beat... So if I don't attack with this, we can beat a Mama Yeti? Yeah, so I guess I shouldn't attack, and then we just hope he draws like Bolt Spasm or any troop here. I guess a Lasgar's Vengeance we're technically still alive as well, because he won't be able to play it. He can only attack. Well, either they went AFK. Sweet! Sweet! We got him! We did it, fam. Woo! What a close game. What a close game. Okay. Boarding the Phoenix is out. Almost certainly wrong. Alright, we're up to Plat 2. Alright, I'm going to cut this Riposte from the board. That's not a card I'm interested in playing. I almost feel like that matchup is I don't want to dick around. I just want 4 Harvest Moons. That doesn't seem completely unreasonable. I'm just going to do that for now. Like, we ended that game at 2 and like we played and resolved at Harvest Moon, so... I think it's we just don't want to dick around and we want 4 Harvest Moons type matchup. You know, it could also be one of the things we did too. I guess Cluckodon's double wild, which is hard in this deck. Cluckodon might be okay over that 4th one. Let's just jam 4 of those for now, just because of the way they interact with Phoenix too being favorable makes them really, really pretty good. I would just like to say, while we wait for this match, good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your Friday here with us. If it's already your evening or your Saturday, hope you're having a good weekend. My name's Jeff Hogan. I'm a professional gamer of sorts, and here on this channel we play all sorts of digital and paper TCGs. We play Hex, Magic, Pokemon, sometimes Eternal, sometimes Nova Blitz. We try lots of different things out here that seem interesting. If you're first time by the channel and you're enjoying the content, I encourage you to at least show a little bit of support that doesn't cost you anything and use that follow button there on the stream. If you're really enjoying the content and want to step that up, you can also subscribe every month for a small amount of money that helps support my content as well as the Twitch infrastructure that we use. If you're enjoying the content and you want to see more of it, there's a link to my YouTube channel in the information. I break up all of my stuff there by game, by format, by deck, so you can watch just the content that you care about. I always post the deck list in the YouTube comments as well, but there's also giant buttons down there for Hex decks and Magic decks also. Also, if another way you can support the channel, if you're a Hex player and you need to buy Hex cards, Hex Primal is listed there above the stream. Using the code Jeff5, you can get 5% off your order, and I get a small kickback from that as well. So, lots of different ways you can support the channel, including just being here. So I appreciate you choosing to watch. Yep, definitely I agree on that, AML. Yeah, that's true. So like if you're just using an acorn to gain health, it's like similar to a cluck. All right. Got Angus again. Easy mulligan here, only one resource. I mean, that's keep, I guess. Gosh, we have to be on the play too. The lack of a well in these colors is a big hit. That's probably good enough to end the game with us on 5 cards. Yeah, I'm just gonna. We know what they're doing. Let's just go ahead and board. It's like cutting these crackling bolts and like leaving in 2 Heart of Embers. That doesn't seem completely unreasonable. But yeah, I should just like split the difference on the draw. Even some of these. Let's give this a try. It depends on the deck queue. Probably not in a deck like this where your thresholds are already a little bit stressed. I think having Fireball is much better than the upside of making a Valor. And like the requirement of already having a Valorous Troop is not nothing. I'm gonna keep this hand. It's a little speculative, but I've got a burn here to slow down some of their early plays. And like if we draw a 2-drop elf on 2 and it gets to connect, just like putting 2 Maws into play on turn 3 is just like one of the best things we can be doing in this matchup, just like being super aggressive. I'm going to take the first hit from this Baby Yeti just in case they have an Anarchist that I want to burn next turn. Alright, let's play this out for Ruby since we already have a Wild Shard in our hand. I'm going to pass the turn back here. If they don't play an Anarchist on 2, I'm going to burn the Baby Yeti. If they do play Anarchist, I'm going to burn the Anarchist. Yep. Never not the nuts. Or there's a non-zero chance I should have just killed this last turn and then, like, hope to use that to draw an elf. I could definitely see that being a reasonable plan as well. Our speculative hand is not panning out here, it would seem. Fissuresmith. All right, rewarded for not just jamming the Fireball. That's the end step by drawing one of our 2 Pyretic Performers. So Pyretic Performer creates a Scorch, which is a free basic action that says, go ahead and kill that. No locks. Hopefully he plays another Fissuresmith or something here. Bolt Spasm, sure. I think we're supposed to risk this getting burned and try and push damage and get these Maws into play. There might be merit to just like playing these out, but I probably want to kill this regardless. So here's hoping he doesn't have a burn. If he doesn't have a burn, we should be in an okay spot. Unless we get Lasgar's Vengeance next turn. That being said, I don't think we can afford to play around that, so let's go! So, there are... Let me... Read this card. And then you be the judge. I'm going to block with this Maw of the Hunt here, because this very well could just be ticking his Lasgar's Vengeance down to 2 here. Or down to 3 so it can play it. God, just every fucking time. This card is so brutal. This card's the reason this deck is so good. Just super dead. I'll probably hit a 4th shard, play Mama Yeti, and we'll concede next turn. Ugh. Woof. Maybe I was too... I feel like a lot of people, and myself included, just don't kill the Baby Yeti fast enough a lot of the time. Yep. Yeah, the deck building restriction things are really cool in this game. Hey, look at that. Keepable 7. Happy to keep. I did popularize Lasgards. You are not wrong. That card was literally bulk. People did not think it was playable. Look, I'm happy to be right. I'm happy to be right and to have pointed out that the card is nuts. Drawing the second heart against a blood deck's a little awkward because, again, they play Hero Fall, which takes all copies of cards with the same name out of my hand. Well, I'm glad we never changed out the... Oh, that's a beating. So I played the slow shard for wild on 1, and then now I can't play the fireball here. So this has, when Vampire Princess hits us, it looks at a random card, and if it sees an action, it takes it. So he's going to have a 1/3 chance to take one of our fireballs away here. I'm not activating my champion power on purpose this time, because that gives our opponent a better chance of hitting an action. I mean, it's worth 4 times what it was, so it's like 5 times what it was. Hey, lucky, lucky, lucky. I'll cast that one, sure. Yeah, missed the shard drop. God bless. Alright, well, let's play this. And then it is not resource efficient in the slightest, but we're going to kill this and then attack him for 3 and then make a Valor. Sure. You have a main deck? You have a main deck Vampire Kiss? Still, that's a far cry from the, some very tiny amount of platinum. It was like, they were like 40, 45 platinum when I started playing them. Big bucks, no VK. Big bucks, no VK. Big bucks, no VK. I have an extra Lasgar's Vengeance, speaking of, that I should probably sell. Maw of the Hunt is an okay draw. Let's go ahead and play this and do this. I'm going to go ahead and play this out. I'm not going to put the Maw of the Hunt into play here because I don't need it to have lethal on board next turn. I don't want to play into Extinction. If he has Extinction, he's playing it out to kill these 2 cards. And then actually he's dead, right? Yeah, No, this is only 6. I'm silly. Alright. Alright, second Maw of the Hunt. I don't think we play around the 3rd Extinction here. The second Extinction, sorry. Do I want to activate the Maw? I'm definitely activating 1 Maw. I don't think I'm going to activate the second. Nah, I'm not going to activate the second. Just in case. This way, he needs Extinction. 1 piece of spot removal is not good enough because I have a Fireball. If he has Extinction again here, I can just play the second Maw out. And dead. Alright, so this is a matchup we want Nature's Reigns for, so let's bring those in. This is another matchup where the Fortress is great. I think Pyretic Performer is fine here. Burn is not great because it really doesn't kill a lot of their stuff. Crimson Bolt is fantastic. I feel like this is a matchup where I don't want the Maw of the Hunt. It's a card that's kind of all in, and it doesn't play well around Extinction. Maybe I want 1 less Crackling Bolt. I could see that being true. Just don't want too much dilution in my deck. It's like 10 removal spells is plenty. Let's try this. Hey, Elwins. This hand seems great. Oh, this hand's really good, actually, if he doesn't kill the Visage, right? We get to, like, Fireball, Fireball. Wow, yeah, this hand is just going to go absolutely ape if he doesn't have a way to interact with us, if he just unlike the Play Vampires plan. Hopefully he just plays Vampire Princess on 3 and then we slaughter him. You know, I'll bet he doesn't want to trade here. Yeah, 3 points of damage. Sweet. This sends a good message. It sends the message that I don't really care about this card. Please just play a princess. Please just play a princess. Please just play a princess. Please just play another vampire. Even another prince. Come on. Come on. Come on. Play another vampire. 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 Whoa, yes! All right, let's draw another. No, don't have a kiss. Seriously? God bless America. Got exactly what I asked for. So, Vampire Princess. If it's in this card is too much text on it. This is one of the cards in Hex that has. There's a couple of these. Monsoon's another. So all of the words on here say that if this is in your opening hand, because this is one of those fun digital mechanic things, it gets the line of text once per turn. You can play Vampire Kisses for free. And then he had this in his opening hand, also had a Vampire Kiss, and then got to play it for free. Yeah, I got exactly what I asked for. I think I just have to Fireball this. That's really sad. I was so excited. Would he have actually died there? We'd have Fireballed that. We'd have Fireballed him. We'd have Champ Powered. And then we would have Double Phoenix. So Double Phoenixes are 8. And then we would have gotten 2. Now, he wouldn't have actually died, but he'd come pretty close. Takes the Crimson Bolt off the top of my deck. So almost certainly a Monsoon. That's pretty good. Alright, would like a Wild Threshold so we can kill that. Let's play this out. I'm going to hold this Scorch, which seems greedy, but we've got 2 Phoenixes in our hand, so I think it's necessary. I'd really like to draw a non-slow shard next turn. Okay. And it's, so what can we do here? I can Fireball this. I can play this. Almost certainly playing this. Go Scorch, Fireball. Huh. See, I have to point one of these 2 things upstairs here. So I think it's going to be Scorch this. Fireball you. Champ Power. Valor this. Phoenix 1, go. Phoenix 2, go. And then initiate Operation Concede to Extinction. And by that I mean we could draw Heart of Embers, I guess, but we're basically dead to extinction. 5 actions in the crypt. This will be a 6th one, so we can get a Phoenix back, I guess. We're not just dead to extinction, but we're mostly dead. I always have it. Yeah, well, cooking with gas, I suppose. This doesn't come back for 2 more turns. God. Ah, jeez. So he had a very good start this game, and we are still very much in this game, which is sweet. In fact, lethal on board in this game. His Exarch of the Egg is going to come back from this monsoon. That was a phenomenal draw. Because now this Valor draws a card. That'll be good at some point if we live to get there. This monsoon's going to be pretty aggressive. We are only at 12. But now he's dead to Fireballs and Crackling Bolts, so I think I'm okay with that. And this is why this card I don't think is particularly well suited right now. Do I get double all of my singles purchases? Not quite. Oh, sweet. He's even being conservative. Oh, because he needs to double block this because it's going to have Swift Strike. Nice. All right, Fireball or Crimson Bolt would be great. Sure, you've got a thing. Even running Shards is fine here. Heart of Embers is lethal over the course of a turn, and now he has to draw a removal spell for the Heart of Embers, so he basically needs to draw Extinction here, right? And if he kills the Heart of Embers, if it's not Extinction, then he doesn't kill the Satyr's Roost Bard, which lets this cantrip. Well, we didn't get to explode on 3 like I wanted to, but still ended up winning the game. The old concede to extinction, right? Ended up winning anyways. Phoenix is a powerful card. And the right show. I'm actually break into Cosmic with this deck. Yep. How has that deck been doing, Show? It hasn't been nearly as popular as it was at the start of the season. Has it fallen off? Is it poor against Angus? You have any insight into why that deck might not be popular anymore? What's the matter, Jake? All right. So our opponent is playing a champion that for 4 charges, I believe. Nope, this is 3 charges, make a worker bot. I was thinking of the other one. Yeah, this hand seems it's a little slow, but probably fine. If we draw a 2-drop elf, this hand's great. It's got a burn in it for early interaction, so that's fine. Sub hype! Marty! With the 9-month resub, 3/4 of a year. Welcome back and thank you for the continued support. Yeah, Q, I cut the winds of change from your board. They seem excessively greedy. Double double wild seems ambitious in this deck. Oh, look at that. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. It is a 2-drop elf. We do have 12 of those. I would have agonized over which to play. I think even if I hadn't drawn this, I would have ultimately played the slow shard on wild on one. I think it's the highest upside there, but I could see it going either way. This makes a warbot. Yeah. Hey, miss. All right, well, this is a little awkward. We're really under the gun here already. I think I'm supposed to play this just so we can block. Oh, okay, that's fair. The wild decks give it a run for its money. I guess Oberon's Eulogy would probably be a card that pushes that style of deck out too. I think I'm obligated to block here if he attacks with this 1/1. Okay, yep, just hitting us for 6. That's fine. Alright, making an exhausted 2/1, sure. Making another worker bot, that's fine. Oh, well then, I think we're dead. They kind of went off this game. So this is a 3/5 that originally cost like 7. It is -1 in all zones for every dwarf and robot you control. So yeah, we just don't have a good way. But before they had that, we could have just burned this and like got our Maw of the Hunted to play on, like kind of held the ground a little bit, but yeah, now we are just dead. We bring in the Nature's Reigns. Lullaby seems fine. It reverts their stuff, so that's great. Pyretic Performer seems excellent. I think we're supposed to turn into a bad control deck here. This feels like turning into a bad control deck. Put in a couple of Crimson Bolts. Yeah, I'm going to give this a try. This might be wrong, but I think just Heart of Embers as being our over-the-top card is probably more than enough for this type of matchup. The main deck is only one card off of a deck that top-8'd the CCS. And then the sideboard were pretty different now. The sideboard from the deck from the CCS looked like it was kind of a hot mess. But the main deck's doing objectively powerful things, so I can see why it did well. Hand seems fine. I guess this kind of quantifies as a go over the top card too, which is sweet. I mean, the Diamond Sapphire control deck, I feel like it's probably a favorite against everything that's like not Angus, but you're a pretty big dog to Angus, so it's like it's a tough meta game call. Need to kill this. So this says every time they play an artifact, they summon a Dreadling. And then when this they have 5 or more artifacts in their crypt, this gets +5/+5 permanently. So we're getting attacked for 4 here. And then 10 out of 10 killing this next turn. The question then becomes, do I want to Valor my guy too? Oh, sweet. So I can just burn this And then I think I just want to use this to get a ruby threshold here. And then I'll play this 2-3 out since it can block this 1-1 and then pass the turn. There might be merit to spending that to gain life since I don't have a second or triple ruby card in my hand yet, but with Fireball in my deck, it seems excessively greedy to grab life there. I I would be surprised if any deck in the format genuinely has a win rate that high again. I'm not going to block here because this is probably... Oh, you know what? This could just be an assault trigger. We could get burned here, but this is hopefully just an assault trigger. Crushing blow. Well, me sideways. That's... Yep. That's rough. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to get slaughtered here. I'm going to kill this so we stop taking damage from artifacts coming into play. And then I'm going to Valor this and then feel real bad about myself. What I also find a little bit funny about a lot of TCGs, it's like a great example of this should happen in Magic standard format is the two of the most popular decks in Magic's just previous standard format just now were green black mid range and blue white flash. And depending on who you asked, you got very different answers about which deck was favored in the blue white flash versus green black mid range matchup. And generally, whoever was the better player was just winning the matchup. So like green black players who were just good at the game I'm just gonna we're pretty dead here. So green black players that were really good at the game thought their blue white flash matchup was great, and blue white flash players who were really good at the game thought their green black matchup was great. And really, the matchup was close, and the better player was just bodying players that were worse than them over and over and over again. Um, Seems okay. Play this out for rubies. We can burn something if they play it on 2 here, like a Might Singer or something like that. Perfect. Kill this. Alright. Play that. Oh, you know what? Drawing that was wrong. Drawing the Phoenix there means I should have played the Feral. I went on autopilot what I was gonna do last turn anyways. Drawing the Phoenix there means I should have played this for a Ruby, because if I hit another Ruby source next turn, I could then go nuts and play the Phoenix. And we hit it, so kinda got punished here. I guess I just get to go nuts next turn, but still feels a little bit bad. We're gonna miss some points of damage here, basically. Alright, let's play this out for another ruby. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and Valor this, and then I'll double fireball our opponent here. I guess I only have to single fireball to play this. Yeah, I'm going to hold the other one as a surprise. We get in for 10 here, and then put this into play. Might not even be dead to a croc here. Is there a Pokemon pre-release tonight? Sun and Moon doesn't come out for a little while, right? Huh. We don't really have a lot of cards for this matchup at our board. We've got these lullabies, and that's like it. I'm going to cut the Maws of the Hunt. Yeah, and I'm going to bring in 2 Crimson Bolts as well. The ground tends to get gummed... Excuse me. Oof. The ground tends to get gummed up in these matchups, so I think I'd rather go over the top with this or kill them with Phoenix. Well, yo, cousin, if you haven't been keeping up, Smuggler's Copter and Emrakul and Reflector Mage got banned in Standard, so if you have any of those, rip your wallet. Am I allowed to be a bad control deck in this matchup? That doesn't sound profitable. Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to be a bad control deck in this matchup. This hand's marginally better. Diamond. There's diamond in their... This champion's triple wild threshold, right? Okay, sure. Teach their own. No longer feel bad that my opponent died without playing cards last game. Probably just had uncastables. That's excessively greedy. I guess we played a Ruby Splash, so maybe if they're just single diamond cards, that's not too bad. It'll turn 2 Howling Brave right on time. Another Visage, okay. You mean Hex rotation. Set 1 and set 2 cards. Awesome, Missilehead. Yeah, game's a lot of fun. I like, that's definitely my number 2 to Hex in terms of digital games. I like that Hex is not bound by paper rules, but I also like that Pokemon has paper tournaments, so they both have ups and downs for sure. Has double diamond cards in their deck, okay. We getting infinite tricks? That would be terrifying, probably. Cluckadon, sure. Get a little clucked up. Alright. I think we're playing this and shipping in with both of these, and then we're going to fireball this to finish it. This also lets us activate our champion power to get a Valor so we could draw a card with it next turn. It doesn't feel good, but I think it's our best line here. Yeah, but you have to remember, Show, that the fixing in Magic is a lot better than the fixing in Hex. Forever's Child. Okay, huh. We don't really have a good answer to that one. Just like run back what we did last turn. Okay. Lullaby is a card that could answer it. Yeah, I think we just run back what we did last turn. That's probably 2 free points of damage. Yep. Getting crocked. Stomp, stomp, concede. Okay, yep. Yep. Okay. I understand why there's diamonds in their grandfather elk deck. Still greedy, but powerful. If you're gonna be greedy, might as well do something powerful with your greed. So this card, at the end of each turn, makes a troop with power touch to equal the amount of health you gained that turn. So, opponent gained 7 life. They made 2 7/7s. Let's pass the turn here. Hopefully this Lullaby can carry us. I believe this Lullaby reverts these into 0/0s. Hopefully he just swings with the squad here. All right. Let's get that right on out of here. Yeah, cool. Reverts those into 0/0s. And then they're not going to gain life here because that prevents combat damage. And then hopefully we'll be a professional and draw a Phoenix next turn. Go ahead and concede here. Definitely need to be more aggressive. Huh. Yeah, I guess I'll bring these in on the play and cut the Crimson Bolts. I think I still want the 2 Lullabies over the other 2 of these, though. Maybe I'm actually supposed to put the Pyretic Performers in. They allow the Phoenixes to be more explosive, and they allow Fireballs and Crackling Bolts to trade up into their 4/4s. Yeah, I should have brought... I shouldn't have gone with the Maws. I should have gone with the... Sand's fine. Not particularly exciting, but fine. Can burn a Brave on 1. Yeah, I should have brought in the Pyretic Performers over the Maws. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Hey, buddy. Do you want to lay down on the couch? It's cozy. We can turn this on for you. Can't cover you up. Okay, you don't want that? That's fine.
They have Karn here. That would be bad for me. Rats. I should not say things like that. I always say what's bad for me, and then they do the thing that's bad for me. Maybe I should have led on that for that reason. Just because then I could have protected the Visage this turn if they had another one. It also would allow... Holding the Visage would also have allowed me to trigger this turn. Yeah, one of the problems with... one of the things that I find actually uninteresting about Eternal is that the fixing in that game is so good that the colors almost don't even matter. Like, playing 3 and 4 color Mush in Eternal is very easy because a bunch of their sigils, which are what they call their resources, produce basically both kinds. Huh, you know? Wow, okay, I was going to say I should have Valored that pre-combat because just to get it out of Karn range, but it doesn't play around Totem Trap, so I guess I'll take it. We had to activate my champion power there because my Crackling Bolt dealt damage to my opponent that turn. This is probably a miserable matchup for us, I can only assume. If we run Phoenixes off here, we might be okay. Cedars Roost Bard we can't play. I guess when we draw Wild, though, we do have a Valor, so it's going to cantrip, which is nice. We're not going to have that long to live, though, so we'll see. They have a... What do I think about the Scars of War spoiler? The card itself seems very reasonable. It's neat design space, too, which is good. One of the things that'll make or break a game is whether or not they can keep up with the original design space as the game goes along. Wild, please. Another uncastable card. So... Probably burn plus fireballing this. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. And then we'll Crackling Bolt to finish it next turn. I would not be surprised if these wild decks are a poor matchup for this. Croc. Alright, well. We hit a wild. I think the play to win line here is Brewst Bard into Valorant, just to like try and get something going. This can block this. If blocking this isn't good enough, then we're probably losing the game anyways. We're likely still losing here regardless. Alright, sweet. That encouraged him to do that, which lets me fireball it. Maybe this Lullaby's at least going to buy us a turn. I don't know if it gets us out of this, but it definitely buys us a turn at the very least. Kill this silly card because it's going to gain him a bunch of life otherwise. Attack for 3. We can go ahead and Valor this post-combat to draw a card. Another resource is probably not going to do it. A little bit flooded, but this is, like I said, this is probably a bad matchup for us anyways. It's a good play. Only attack with the lethal one. It's worse against double removal, but better against Lullaby. Okay, well, that's one of the better cards we could hit. It allows us to Valor this and draw a card. Play this, dead to a Croc. When aren't we dead to a Croc, really? Just like ode to wild, dead hashtag dead to a Croc. Alright, let's queue up one more here. If we lose another one, we'll Kaiga Leech our way into Cosmic. Same team's fine. Visage on 2. Crackling Bolt on 3. Hard to follow it up. I'd like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone wherever you're at in the world. Got almost 100 people hanging out here today on a Friday afternoon for me. So thanks for choosing to spend part of your Friday, your weekend here with us. There's a lot of different things you could be doing, different people you could be watching. So thanks for choosing to spend some of your time here. If you're enjoying the content, you're new to the stream, I'd encourage you to show a little bit of support by using the follow button on the stream there. It doesn't cost you anything to do. If you're really enjoying the content and you want to step it up a little bit, the subscribe button helps support myself as well as the Twitch infrastructure that we are utilizing. If you're a Hex TCG player, another way you can support the stream is there's that banner above the stream for Hex Primal. They buy and sell Hex TCG cards, and whenever you buy using the code Jeff5, you get a discount on their site, and I also get a little bit of support from that as well, so I appreciate when you use that. If you are looking for more content for myself, there's my YouTube channel linked in the channel description as well. You can go ahead and check that out. I archive all of my streams there and break them up by game, by deck, by format, so you can watch just the content that you care about. Yeah, heck, it's another Hex weekend, too. We've got the Blood Cup is this weekend, right? I think I might play that tomorrow. Okay, sweet. So we get to Crackling Bolt this, and then keep attacking with this, and trigger this, which is nice. The Kai Judist with the 5-month resubscription. Thank you for coming back and continuing support the Hex Entertainment. I do appreciate it. And the Blood Cup is not nearly as big of a deal as the CCS. Still a good time, though, so I will probably... Oh, stop my auto pass so I can activate my champion power. I will probably be casting my matches for the Blood Cup tomorrow. The Blood Cup entry is free. $0. Just show up with your favorite Hex TCG constructed deck and do battle and slay all of your fellow nerds. So I think I want to wait and get value out of one of these, so I'm just going to Crackling Bolt this, and then Valor this, and attack. And then again, we'll activate our champion power here. It's a little awkward drawing the second one. Again, we're super excited to draw a second one to have it, but we're kind of scared because we're playing against a blood deck that could hero fall the first one, and then we lose the second one. It starts at 9 a.m. PST or noon Eastern. We'll go ahead and play this Heart of Embers out here. And we'll Valor our Visage and then Dome this Exarch of the Egg for 3. Crunch in for 4 here. I'm pretty set on playing the Kaigalichu deck for tomorrow, but now part of me wants to just run off this deck, because this deck's sweet. And my opponent doesn't have a hero fall or any removal for this here, but you just get to play the second Heart next turn and just, like, boom, boom, 12 him. That'll be insane. What are the odds you don't have a removal spell? You have Repel, so maybe you don't have kills in hero falls. Happily gain 3 more life. Have to kill this one in response here, right? Like, not close. Wow! How greedy is that? Rightfully punished. Had the hero fall, wanted me to Valor my guy. Holy crap. Just, sure. To each his or her own. Deal. Sign me up. Alright, so if we get a Shard or a Crackling Bolt next turn, we should be able to kill them. Assuming they don't have a removal spell. Sure. You have your own Heart of Embers. You should 10 out of 10 Valor this, right? And 3 me. You want to save it, I guess? Wow, that's a good draw. Yep, I'm having a gas with this deck. I might play this tomorrow just for funsies, honestly. I'm going to send the 3 upstairs here, because if we draw a Shard like we just did, this gives us a charge to activate our champion power, which will give us another Valor here. And then he actually has to chump block my Heart of Embers. Check that out, Zig. Yeah, sweet. Alright, so Not really sure what our opponent's doing. Probably don't mind having Fortress in my deck. Just again against removal heavy strategies, I kind of like this card. Maw of the Hunt doesn't seem particularly great. Bring in a couple of Crimson Bolts just because we saw some vampires. I'm not sure if they're going all the way up to VKs and VPs though. Maybe trim one burn and bring in an extra Crimson Bolt. That seems like a fine hedge. Let's do it live. On the draw for this game. Yeah, same seems fine. A little clunky on the shard open over. Get a piece of removal to stop an early vampire. Again, another Heart of Embers. Like having two of a powerful card. Don't like the idea of getting Hero Fallen. So hopefully they have to kill one of these two. What would we like to draw? We'd like to draw just a Ruby Shard next turn or an Acorn so that way we can play Visage next turn and then like go slow Shard for a Wild, play Satyr the following turn. Okay, well that doesn't cast a Vampire Prince. Tunneling Troop, likely a Monsoon. I suppose there's a world where my opponent's playing Underworld Crusader in their deck and they could have some strange ones. I guess they had multiple Exarch of the Egg game one though too, didn't they? I had not heard that parody show. Hey Jacob, do you have a good nap, bud? If this is a Monsoon, this card's super terrifying. Because, like, I can't Crimson Bolt it because it'll just come back in 3 turns. We're not going to kill them before then. Play that so we don't have to discard and pass the turn. We've likely lost this game, but at this point, I'm playing to find out what this is. You want to sit on Dad's lap, bud? We only have one action in our hand, so pretty low probability that this takes something away from us, at least. Kind of surprised he didn't champ power there. Okay, Shard's not the worst. This lets us go Firebrand into make this a 3/3 attack for 3 through this. Oh, you still a little bit tired, bud? Totem Trap? Yeah, the Totem Trap last game. Nope, okay. And I'll be right back. I need to change a diaper. Alright, sorry about that. Now we got a champ power out of him. We're going to take 5 here. We got a 1 in 6 that we have to dodge twice here. Alright, we did it, fam. So we get to Crimson Bolt him next turn. Fireball's actually a great draw. Alright, well, maybe are we doing this? Let's just pass here. This can block the Monsoon. We'll take a hit from this. Bob in cheese! With the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you for that. This is going to be my last match of the day. Jake's a little upset. I do plan to be back on tomorrow streaming the Blood Cup matches. I don't know that I'm going to be entertaining in between, but I will at the very least be casting for the people that are going to be doing the shoutcasting. What did I think about there not being coverage of GP Louisville? I think it's just, one of the constant continuations of WotC's, lack of commitment to improving their coverage. How do you do the Discord thingy? I think we're going to take 2 here and then trade with this guy. I think I want to just use this as a gain 5 at this point. All right, Fireball's a great draw, so I can play this out here. I think I'd rather Fireball this and just keep taking 2 from this in the air, and that way eventually just hit another shard here for these Heart of Embers. So for the Discord thingy, it takes up to an hour to sync, Bob, because the sync happens automatically. You want to log into Discord's online web client using your desktop browser, and in the user settings, link your Discord account with your subscribed Twitch account, and then my sub server will show up automatically for you. This might be a little greedy because this gives the Vampire Princess a chance to hit my Valor, but I think this is the correct line. That could be incorrect. All right, they finally hit one. That feels pretty bad. Alright, hold on. Largeif? Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. I'm going to take my youngest upstairs real quick here, or my oldest upstairs real quick here, so he can hang out with my wife for the last couple of minutes while I finish this match up. Alright, well, they keep flooding. We have a path to victory. We need to hit a non-slow shard this turn, basically. I guess we could also hit removal. We've got Fireballs, Crimson Bolts, and Crackling Bolts in our deck. Our hand is gas, but that's what happens when you're screwed. It's weird how that works. If they had another shard this turn, yep, they can champ power this and then hit us for 3, then 4, so we're dead in 3 here. So need to hit a non-slow shard or removal spell this turn. This is a last turn, a non-slow shard works for us. I guess a slow shard this turn and then a non-slow shard the following turn could work. Alright, burn technically gives us more outs. It means that drawing a second burn next turn could allow us to kill this. We are going to 1 here, though. Why wouldn't you just play a monsoon out? Alright. God, hopefully we hit here and kill this and win this game because they messed up here. That is one turn too late. Do not have enough to play Heart plus Crack of the turn. Yes, that's just almost strictly incorrect. They should just put a second lethal threat on the table. I'm just going to go ahead and save here, I think. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, they should. If there was justice, we'd have killed the Vampire Princess and then gotten back in that game. But, you know, that's not the game we live in. Keep, I guess. This hand's a little clunky. These slow shards suck. These slow shards are showing why the threshold, the only dual shard decks that are doing well consistently are the ones that have wells in them because they don't have to play all of these, or they're control decks so they don't mind playing all of these. Thankfully, our opponent is also on a clunky shard base. Come on, Ruby Shard one time. Ruby Shard one time. Ruby Shard or Acorn one time. Sure, but like we're gonna lose cards out of this deck. The slow shards are all rotating with set 6, right? Those are all set 1 and set 2. Sure, there's your Vampire Prince. Look at that. We're gonna play 3 resources in 3 turns. What world is this? I'm gonna attack with this first so they don't necessarily know that we're getting a Valor if we hit them. Small thing. And I'm not going to play the Valor out because we might use that in order to trigger the Sun Soul Phoenix later. We also might want to use it with these Heart of Embers. What's an ideal sequence here? They play Princess. They miss on this. We hit a Shard. We play Visage plus kill the Princess. And the following turn go nuts with these. Don't have a Kiss in your opening hand. That wasn't in my ideal sequence. They took the Shard off the top of our deck. I really wish we got a chance to see what Shard it was instead of just seeing it flip up and go to their hand. Oh, and then we brick on a Shard. Am I supposed to just burn this? I feel like I am. He hadn't used his champ power yet. I feel like he wasn't going to anytime soon. Just get his pressure and his life gain off the table. So we drew a Shard. What does that mean? If we get Hero Falled, the game's probably over. If we don't get Hero Falled and this misses, we're in a great spot. Yep. Already Dead and Z with the brand new subscription. Thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. Welcome. This gets us out of Totem Trap range. Sunsoul Phoenix will be in Totem Trap range, but that's fine. Definitely playing that out while it's cheap. Getting another Visage here. Crunch for 10. Repel your least favorite thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 actions in there. You know, because my opponent's playing Gorn, this might be a matchup where I don't want this. Just because of their aggressive slant. Yep. Have the old Phoenix on defense next turn cycle. My opponent gains infinite life. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Soul Marble. Well, that card's probably unbeatable for us. Huh. It's a card I haven't seen in a while. I'm not... Okay, yep. Thanks, mate. So this card, you pay X and put X resources into it, and then when it has 10 counters on it, you remove all of the counters from it, and it turns either into a 6/6 with Steadfast and Spell Shield, or it turns into a constant that gives all of your guys +2/+2 Spell Shield and Steadfast. It has a good draw. Pretty sure I'm obligated to trade here. Nope, doesn't want it. Alright. Probably just going to sit on these until this activates. I don't even think the Fortress can win this game at this point. Which probably means it shouldn't be in the deck. The old pause while they read my crappy card that's not going to win us the game. And we don't have... Heart of Embers is the type of card that could get us out of a situation like this, but we were just stuck on it, and then they had the hero fall. So, it's unfortunate. So we're going to put 2 resources into here, and then so in 2 turns, the Soul Marble is going to be active. I guess we could run off a bunch of Phoenixes here. Trying to think, like, what our sequence of draws is that gets us out of here. Probably starts with, like, a Crimson Bolt this turn to kill one of these, and then followed by a second Phoenix the next turn so we can block. Or I guess a Fireball to kill this, or a Crackling Bolt to kill this works this turn as well. Drawing a Brick will probably not do it. I'm just going to go ahead and pack it in. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out here this afternoon. I will be on tomorrow streaming the Blood Cup. I'm not sure if I'm going to do commentary or not yet, but the 5-shard stream will be casting on their main channel. They'll be doing recasts of all the people that are actually streaming the tournament. So you should definitely, regardless of what I do, make sure you tune into the twitch.tv/5shards for the coverage of the Blood Cup tomorrow. And I will catch y'all around. To my new subs, welcome. I really do appreciate that extra level of support. And you be sure to link your discordapp.com account in the user settings of the desktop web client with your subscribed Twitch account, and you'll check out our subs-only Discord server where we talk about Hex, Magic, and all sorts of other TCG stuff like Pokemans and whatever else we're tooling around with in that particular week.